Oh, hold on. That's the recording. No, there we are. And then we will start by sitting on the mat. Wonderful stuff. So namaste and welcome everybody to this class all about the hips. So finding a comfortable spot to sit in, and you can sit in a chair, that's not a problem at all for this first initial wakening up of the body if you would like to. So wherever you are, comfortable, and finding a little bit of length in your spine, resting your hands wherever they feel good, closing the eyes or gazing gently downwards, and finding your way into your yoga space. Bringing your body just to stillness here for a moment, to become aware of how it is you're feeling today. Allow your body to talk to you and listen to what it's saying. Becoming aware of those places where the body is feeling a little bit stiff or stuck or sore. So you can take the best care during your practice. Notice how you're feeling emotionally and also what sort of thoughts are on your mind. And then gently bring your awareness to your breathing and notice the breath that is there without any control, just as you find it. And then gently deepening your breath, helping your body to exhale by drawing your abdominal muscles gently in, and then breathing deeply into the sides, the ribs, the chest, the upper back, and exhaling slowly, fully, using just a touch of help from the abdominal muscles to encourage air out of the lungs. Breathing in deeply, expanding through the whole of the rib cage. Breathing out slowly and completely, with just a touch of help from the tummy muscles. Breathing in fully, deeply. Breathing out slowly and completely. Keep breathing in this way. Notice the face. See if you can soften any holding sensations across the forehead, the eyes, the jaw. See if you can become aware of the base of the body, the stability of the bones underneath the bottom, the sense of connection down and the lift through the spine all the way up into the crown of the head. At the end of your next breath, You can keep the breath going, but just gently bringing your chin towards your chest and rolling your right ear towards your right shoulder and left ear to left shoulder. You can, of course, make any movements with your neck that feel good to you. This is a great way to gently begin exploring how the shoulders feel, how the neck feels, and just sensing those connections, bringing ourselves into that headspace where we are aware of the connections through our body. If you want to, you can begin to make small circles, just lifting the chin between the ears, dropping the chin towards the chest. Maybe a couple in each direction. If you feel any spots that are stuck, you can stay there. And gently work through them if you want to, but really gently in this early part of our practice. When you're ready, perhaps you want to return your head upright and begin moving into your shoulders. So now we've woken up the structures down the sides of the neck, we can begin to move into the shoulders a little bit more. Maybe exploring how it feels to make circles with one arm. Nice soft elbow to begin with. Feel ourselves moving more into the chest and the back and the sides of the body, going in both directions. And then the other side as well. Nice and soft in the elbow. Just feel that waking up the space down the sides of the body, the chest, particularly the upper back, and the opposite way as well. If you feel inclined to move in a different way, you can explore your own way. That's okay. And then maybe just a little bit of a gentle side bending. And maybe a little bit of folding and opening as we come to one side. Same on the other side. Gentle. Go do what feels good to you, of course. And then if you want to, you can extend your legs out. We're going to keep our knees bent and the heels on the floor and circle the knees together and apart. So we're beginning to waken up that space where the femur bones come into the hip sockets, beginning to lubricate that joint. We're going to work a lot with that joint today. We're going to go in the opposite direction as well, just circling the ankles at the feet, or the feet at the ankles rather. That would be interesting the other way. The knees coming apart and together. And then you can feel that your body wants to join in this movement. So just allowing it to move with your legs. So as your pelvis rocks, allowing that rocking sensation to come up the spine. You can reverse your direction. If you feel inclined, you can put your arms into it as well. A little bit of octopusing for first thing in the morning. Nice. And then if there's any other parts of you that need a little bit of TLC, if you want to give your neck and shoulders a little bit of a rub, or if you want to roll through your wrists, you can. And we're going to meet up lying on our backs, which is where our class is going to begin today. So bringing yourself down onto your mat and taking your feet to the floor and spending a moment just with the arms relaxed, the feet on the floor, the back of the body, releasing downwards. And notice, even with that, just that short introductory limbering, perhaps you notice the body is a little bit more at ease. Perhaps you notice other positive changes. Then taking your feet nice and wide, so wider apart than your hips and shoulders. You're going to take the arms out at shoulder height and then gently allow the knees to sway from side to side. So you don't need to get anywhere in particular. We're not aiming ourselves fully into our twist to begin with. We're gently beginning to wake up the hips, the abdominal muscles, the low back. And so gradually beginning to get perhaps a little bit lower or a little bit more towards where your end of range of movement is. And the next time your knees come down on your right side, you can leave them there. So don't worry about where they are. They'll just naturally find their space. We're going to take the left hand, so knees are on the right side, left hand, and circle it towards the right side, over the hip, so that the hands come almost on top of each other, and then reaching the left hand over the head and rolling back towards the left. So as we do this, we're going to keep circling. The left shoulder, left side of the chest, both shoulder blades will peel off the floor and then release back down again. So the knees stay where they are. And we're just circling the left hand. This is circle number 3. And we're going to do one more in this direction. Nice and slow and steady. Just reaching. And then in the opposite direction as well. So you might notice that one way is a little bit easier than the other. Try to keep your head relaxed to the floor if you can. If you want to go a little bit quicker or a little bit slower, you can, of course. Super. This time, as the arm comes over the head towards the left side of the ear, we're going to leave the left arm reaching over the top. And we're going to press the inside of the left foot and the inside of the left thigh towards the floor. So you get a sense of length between the knee and the fingertips or the palm of the left hand. And just breathing, experiencing that sense of length. If it's not comfortable to stay with the knee pressed towards the floor, then you can come out a little bit or release your arm from where it is. One more deep breath. And then releasing your left hand back to the left side, bringing your knees up to the center. Take a moment in the center, maybe just a gentle shake from side to side or sway from side to side, and then releasing the knees all the way down to the left side. So allowing your knees to just find their space, and then with your right hand, sweeping the right hand over the right hip as you twist towards that left side, sweeping the right hand over the head and releasing the upper back onto the mat. We're going to make 4 circles in this direction, peeling the right shoulder, shoulder blade, and chest towards the left side, and then releasing back down to the mat. Very good. You can look with your hand, you can roll your head a little. I think we've got one more, but I can never remember. So we'll do one more for luck. And then we'll go in the opposite direction as well. So reaching the right arm up this time and over, reaching the hands towards each other, and then peeling the upper back down to the floor. Lovely job. So this is a variation on the universal twist. And it's a really nice way to open up the sides of the body. One more time around, and then when your right arm comes up towards your right ear, just leaving your right arm there on the floor. You can soften the elbow as much as you need to, pressing the inside of the right foot, the inside of the right thigh towards the mat, that in a way that feels comfortable. So if it feels very pulling in your knee, then ease off. That usually indicates tight quadriceps. So just easing out of that. The quadriceps get a little bit of length today, and we will, you can use a foam roller if you need to ease them off. One more deep breath in, and deep breath out. We're going to release the right arm out to the right, and bring the knees back to the center. And then the knees have been quite far apart. You can give them a gentle sway. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. They don't have to be super close, about hip width apart. And we're going to take the elbows and the upper arms to the mat, with the palms facing towards each other. So bending the arms at the elbows, palms facing towards each other. Make sure you've got a little bit of length behind the back of the neck. We're going to press down into the upper arms, the shoulders and the elbows, which lifts the chest a little, and then pressing into the heels and the feet, lifting the hips and lowering. So we're going to keep the upper body engaged as we lift the hips by pressing down into the heels, gently using the buttocks to lift up and down. Doesn't matter where you get to. It's not about coming into a bridge posture. It's about engaging that posterior chain of the body, the muscles that get lazy and lengthened when we sit a lot and cause back pain when they're not active, when they're not an active part of the support of our body. So up and down, and this time when you come up, if you want to, you can turn your feet out just a little. That might be more comfortable for your knees. And we're going to keep the hips up, but then make hula hooping with the hips. Very into hula hooping at the moment. Hula hooping. Doesn't matter which direction you're going in. We're going to go in the opposite direction as well. And this is a movement that we might come back to in the class, depending on how far through we get. Very good. Coming back to the center and then gently lowering the hips back down to the mat, lowering the arms to the floor, taking just a moment to breathe in and out. And bending your knees into your chest, one hand on each knee and just rocking a little bit from side to side. So the knees can be quite far apart as makes it comfortable for you. And then when you're ready, you can make circling with the knees, and they can do both in the same direction, but changing directions as well. Or you can keep one hand on each knee and let them find their own way. So our legs are different, just as the two sides of the body are different. So the movement in our hips is different in our femur joint. So explore. You don't need to notice the difference necessarily, but you need to perhaps allow your opposite legs to have independent exploration. Very good. And we're going to bring the knees closer together. Hold underneath the backs of the knees, so on the back of the thighs. And we're going to rock from sitting bones to shoulder blades. So you can bring the knees towards you and rock up onto your sitting bones. Try to balance if you can, catch yourself, and rolling back down and up and down. Now, if you're very finely boned and you're working on a hard surface, that can be a little bit painful. So if you need to, you can pad, or if you prefer, you can rest out of this practice. Okay, so we're going to try extending the right leg as we come up, just briefly pausing with the right leg off the ground and then coming back with both legs, extending the left leg. So we're practicing for a little progression, which isn't going to happen this week. You can reach the hands forward as you extend one leg. And just rolling, enjoying that little massage. Reaching the hands forward as you come up. We'll do one more to each side. And then we're going to come back with both feet and reaching the hands forward, and see if you can catch yourself on your feet. Press down into the feet, reach forward with the hands. And on our next one, she says, come into your squat. So I'm just going to turn to face you guys. So if you're in a squat but your heels are off the floor, if you're up on your tiptoes, that's okay, no problem at all. If it doesn't matter what squat you hold, you can keep hold of the floor and keep leaning forward if you like. If you're able to bring your hands to Namaste and just gently ease your upper arms into the inner thighs, then that's okay too. And just taking a moment here, if it doesn't feel good to hold it still, you can move. And if it feels better, you can gently ease your legs a little bit straighter and then come back into your squat. So just sort of lifting and lowering your bottom. Don't do it too many times because it will be quite hard work on your legs. Super duper. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. Then we're going to take the hands behind us and sit down. So here we're going to cross the right leg in front of the left leg and just find a comfortable spot. Rest for a moment, closing the eyes or gazing gently down, just taking a couple of breaths and letting the spine organize itself, letting the body assimilate all of that sensory information we've given it. And at any time that you're resting like this, you can always exhale through your mouth, which lets you let go of anything that's come up. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, and we're going to begin by circling the upper body over the right leg and then over the left and up. Okay, so we're making our little circles. We've been doing these for a few weeks now. Very nice way to waken up the body again. And after that work that we've done on the floor, perhaps there's just a little bit of tension in the low back. I don't know, maybe there will be, and you can release it with this. Try to remember that your head is an extension of your spine. So as you go forward, tucking the chin in a little, as you come up, maybe lifting the chin a little. Very good. We're going to do two more like this. Very good. And then as you come up, this time we're going to extend the right leg. Keep the left foot bent in sort of almost like a Janu Shirshasana. And we're going to take the left hand and we're going to sweep the left hand towards the right leg. So we're making a sort of folding twist, reaching up with the left hand and twisting to the left as we reach the left hand down. And then we're going to lean away from our right side, reach the right hand in a folding twist to sweep up and over as well. So our hands make a figure of 8 movement, leaving the right hand down, sweep the left hand towards the right leg, reaching up and over, place the left hand down, reach the right hand over to the left side, up and over. We'll do one more like this. Doesn't matter how far you fold, it's about moving within your comfortable range of movement, awakening your body. So this time we'll do the same thing, but if you want to, you're going to have an option to lift your hips as we go to the left. Okay, so reaching the right hand towards the left side and up, follow it with your head. And this time, if you want to, press down into the left hand, left foot, left shin, reaching the right arm up and over, and release the hips down again. Let's do a few of these. So we're going to do maybe 3 more. Pressing down into the left side, reaching the right arm up and over. Feel that power, that lift underneath the body. And then folding, so we're stretching those things that we've just engaged. And then we're engaging again with that left side, opening and lifting. And we'll do one more. Folding, reaching up, and then coming to the left side. Very good. And then I'm just going to switch to the long side of my mat. As you fold your right leg in, place your left hand behind you, twist to the left and come into a little sort of folded squat. So your feet can be quite wide, I imagine that your toes are pointing outwards, and you can walk your hands a little bit further away from you. We're going to unfold ourselves into downward facing dog. So taking the weight onto the hands a little bit and letting the toes, the feet pivot on the toes. When you come up into your down dog, just taking a few breaths here, paddling through the backs of the legs. If you want to make your down dog a bit longer, you can, absolutely. I find that it's more difficult to lengthen until I'm up. And then we're going to bring the feet, my feet were very wide, so I'm bringing them just a touch closer together. They're still about shoulder width apart. I'm going to drop the heels down to the right side and then bend and stretch the knees. So bend the knees, lengthen the legs. Keep the hands firmly pressed down into the mat. Pivot up onto your toes and then heels to the opposite side. Bend the knees, stretch the legs. The neck is nice and relaxed, the face nice and soft. Coming back to the center, up onto the toes, and then a few more paddles through the backs of the legs, heels, one at a time down to the mat. Towards the mat, of course. And then we're going to take our knees down. We're going to do some baby waving vinyasas. So perhaps the hands are just a little bit further forward. So those of you who are familiar with the waving vinyasas, you probably know what's coming next. But if you haven't done it before, just watching. So here we're going to drop our hips down to our heels, toes are tucked under, and then looking towards the knees, we're going to round the upper back up towards the ceiling and forward. And when the shoulders come towards the hands, we're going to look forward with the head, so unfolding the neck, drawing the elbows back and the hands back towards the hips to pull our chest forward and open. Elbows are bent, knees are bent, and then we press up through hands and knees and back into our folded, curled up position with the hips towards the heels. So as we come forward, rolling through the spine, looking back towards the knees until the hands come, shoulders come over the hands, and then elbows soften, hands pull back towards the hips to open the chest, looking up and then back through hands and knees into our folded position. This time we're going to hold a little bit at the other end. So as we move forward, pressing off the toes, feeling the buttocks engage, pulling the hands back towards the hips, opening the chest, keep yourself quite high and just gently look from one side to the other. So it's firm on the arms. You need to be doing some nice, good pressing down with the hands and then coming all the way back into our more folded position. We're going to walk our hands back towards us, leave the, now we see, leave the left hand on the floor and twist all the way around, and hopefully you end up with your left leg in front of your right leg as you are sitting. And when you do that, coming back to that resting seated posture, closing the eyes or gazing gently downward, and taking a moment just to allow your spine to organize itself, allowing your body to assimilate the effort that you have made. Maybe taking one more deep breath in and sighing out. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. If you need to roll your wrists at all, of course, you can always shake them out and roll them. We'll start with our upper body circling. So over the left leg and then the right and up. Circling over the left and the right and up. Very good. Spinal stirring, that's what we'll call this. Sorry, it's just occurred to me. Remember that your head's part of the movement. And remember that you can use as much as you like of your shoulders and your arms in this movement. Make it as fluid and as graceful as possible. We'll do one more time around. And and then we're going to extend our left leg out to the side and begin our sweeping figure of 8. So left hand down, sweep the back of the right hand towards the left leg and up, reaching up, twisting in the chest over to the right side, leave the right hand down, sweep the left arm over to the right, making a nice wide circle. Sweeping over to the left with the right hand and up, turning and twisting, leaving the right hand down, sweeping over with the left arm, opening up that space. One more time like this. Very nice. We're going to come back to this advancing movement now, so where we take a baby wild thing if you want to. So this time reaching the right arm up and pressing down into the right hand, pressing down into the right leg to lift the hips and sweep the left arm over and down. Very good. Right hand over to the left side, reaching up, pressing down with the right hand, down with the right leg, lifting in the hips, feeling the buttocks engaged, the back of the body engaged. Very good. One more of these. In fact, I think we did one more. We're going to do one more again. I know I often do that. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm useless at counting once I've started talking. Super duper. So last one. Lovely job. And then as you come down, you're going to fold in your left leg, take your right hand behind you, turn to the right and come into that little squat again. Okay? So here again, you can have your feet quite wide, and this time if you want to, you can play around with moving your hips from side to side if that feels comfortable. If you prefer, you can come straight up into your downward dog. We're all going there anyway, so whenever you're ready, up into your downward dog. And this time we'll bring our feet to about shoulder width apart, soften the knees, and just sway your tailbone from side to side. So give your tail a bit of a whack. Smashing stuff. We're going to walk the hands a little bit further away from us, drop the knees to the mat, and prepare for our waving vinyasas, just this baby version. So dropping the hips down to the heels, looking back towards the knees as you round through the upper back, push off the feet. As your chest comes forward, draw the elbows and the hands back to open the chest, soften the elbows, back to hands and knees, and taking your chest back towards your thighs, hips to the heels. Press off the heels, round through the spine, looking backwards to begin with. Then, as the chest comes forward, opening the chest, drawing the elbows backwards, and coming back into your rounded position. Last one. Pressing forwards, rolling through the upper back, rolling through the whole back rather, and then here, a gentle little look from side to side if you want to. Maybe we'll do one more. And then in the center, pressing back to hands and knees, coming all the way back, walking your hands towards you. This time we're going to leave our right hand down, twist to the left, so you end up with the right leg in front of the left. And I'm going to stick with doing this now, facing this way now. You know what we're doing at the beginning. Okay, so as you come into your seated position, just taking a couple of breaths rather, not a couple of minutes, to allow the spine to reorganize itself, the body to absorb that information, that stimulation that we have made. And exhaling through your mouth if you need to. Brilliant. Okay, so this time we're going to extend the right leg straight away. And we're going to begin with our figure of eights. We're going to do 3, but we'll hold the third one, the wild thing, in it if you want to. Okay, so taking the right hand down on the right side, sweep the left hand towards the right foot and up. Twisting through the torso, take the left hand down behind you. Press into that left hand, press into the left leg as you reach the hips up and the right hand over the head. Sweeping our big figure of eights, coming into your wild thing, feeling that openness in the chest. This time, if you want to, you can hold. And so as you're up in your wild thing, you can simply feel that engagement underneath the body. So pressing down a little bit more with the left foot, the left shin, the left hand, feeling the body moving away from the floor, feeling what's engaging down the back of the body, maybe opening your chest a little bit more if you want to, and then gently releasing down. Folding your right leg in, take your left hand behind you, turn to the left and come into your little squat. Well done, guys. Doesn't matter if you don't shift in this way, as long as we all end up doing, it doesn't matter about the transitions, is what I mean. Okay, so we're going to reach the hands forward as we come up into our downward facing dog. And now if you want to, you can drop your knees to the floor and do that modified version of the waving vinyasa. But if you'd like to try the full one, from downward facing dog, soften the knees, press off the feet to round through the upper back, coming through the press up position, then dragging the hands and the elbows back to open your chest, and then pressing back up to the press up position and back into downward facing dog. We're going to do one more like that. Soft knees to begin with. Press off the toes, round through the upper back, looking back towards your feet until your shoulders are over your hands. Opening your chest, then pressing back to press up position and back to downward facing dog. This time we're going to meet on our bellies. So pressing off the toes, rounding through the upper back, pulling the hands back, the chest forward, and then dropping the knees down to the mat and folding yourself down to the floor. Make a pillow out of your hands, relax the toes, shimmer the hips from side to side if you need to, and take a couple of deep breaths here. Very good. Now, I'd like you to watch this next bit. So if you fold your elbows underneath your shoulders, just so you can prop yourself up, and hopefully you'll be able to see your screen in the right way. So we're going to leave for the practice that you're going to do, your head will be down on the back of your hands. And we're going to bring our thighs a little bit closer towards each other. We want the upper body to remain down, so remain softened towards the floor, even if you have to press it down a little bit to make that happen. And we're going to press the left leg down and lift the right leg up, just a few inches off the floor. Once it's up, we're simply going to bend the knee, keeping the knee up so the foot is a little bit higher, and then relax and down. So we'll do this from side to side. And then on our second rotation, we're going to lift, bend, reach across the body, and then back and down. So that's on our second rotation, okay? So for now, forehead onto the back of the hands, relaxing the pelvis towards the floor, the forehead, the upper body towards the floor. Press the left foot down, and then at the same time, lengthen the right toes away from you and up. When the right foot is just hovering off the floor, keep the knee up and then bend the knee. Just soften it a little to lift the heel and the toes of the right foot just that little bit higher, and then relax all the way down. Press the right foot down into the floor, the right leg down. Lengthen the left toes away from you and up. With the left knee where it is, bend the knee to lift the foot just a little bit higher. And then relax all the way down. Press the left foot down, lift the right leg away and up. Bend the knee gently. And releasing down. Press the right foot down, lift the left foot away and up. Bend the knee gently. And releasing down. We'll do two more to each side. Keeping the face relaxed, the jaw relaxed, and the upper body towards the floor. Pressing the left foot down, lifting the right leg up, bending the knee to lift the foot a little higher, relaxing that leg down, pressing the right foot down, lifting the left leg up, bending the knee to lift the foot a little higher, and releasing down. And this time, relaxing the toes towards each other, the heels apart, the legs wider, and just shaking your hips from side to side. Nicely done. We're going to come up onto hands and knees. So hands underneath the shoulders and coming up onto hands and knees. And we're going to keep the knees nice and wide and the hands nice and wide and make big circles with our belly buttons. So circling around the hips, and hopefully that will just ease any tension out of the low back that you've had there. And in the opposite direction as well. So that's what happens sometimes when we start using the muscles that have been lazy and lengthened, is they can feel that effort, they get fatigued, and our body reads that as tension. Then we're going to come back to the center and bring our knees towards each other, so that between our hands and our knees, we create a little tripod. Okay? Super duper. So here, I'm going to do my left foot first, but you guys are going to do your right foot first. I'm going to look forward, press the left leg down and lift the right leg up behind you. So you're in a, almost like you were preparing for tiger pose. And then we're going to draw the right foot around the body towards the right hand, as high up as we can to touch the toe down, and then lift it all the way up and over and around to the left side and look towards the left as you do that. So big rainbow legs, that's what we'll call this. And at the same time, keeping the chest lifted, the elbows lengthened but not locked. Very good. Rainbowing, touching down, lifting as high as you can, up and over. We'll do one more. Very good. Smashing. And then we're going to come back to hands and knees. Walk our hands back towards our feet. Leave the left hand on the floor. Twist towards the right so that you end up with the left leg in front of the right and you're sitting again. Doesn't matter how you transition. When you come back to sitting, taking a moment to sit and allow the body to absorb all of that effort, all of that work. If you need to, take a deep breath in and sigh out through your mouth. Good stuff. Let's extend the left leg and do our sweeping figure of eights. Okay, so left hand down on the left side, sweep the back of the right hand towards the left foot, and then reaching up and over. We're going to press down into the right hand, down into the right foot and shin, lift the hips and reach the left arm up and over. Nice sweeping circles. Reach the left hand down, right hand towards left leg, up and over, twisting and lengthening, pressing down on the right side, reaching the left hand up and over. Very nice. I think we're just doing one more and we're going to hold. So this time, if you want to hold, you don't have to. If you don't want to hold, just do another moving one. So pressing down into the right arm, the right leg, feeling that lift underneath the right side of the body and that openness in the left side of the body. If you want to, you can open a little bit more. Taking a deep breath in. And then a deep breath out, releasing the hips down. Fold the left leg in and then take the right hand down behind you. Twist to the right until you come into your little squat. We're going to reach the hands a little bit further forward, come up into downward facing dog. And here we're going to do 1.5 waving vinyasas. So we'll do one and then end up on the belly on the second one. So soft in the knees, pushing off the feet, rounding through the upper back, drawing the heels of the hands back towards you to open the chest, and then back through plank pose into downward facing dog. These get easier much quicker if you practice them regularly. One more, and we'll end up on the chest. Oh, sorry, on the belly. There we are, relaxing all the way down. We'll make a pillow out of our hands, change the hand that's on top so you are balanced. Bring the thighs towards each other and leave the head and the chest and the arms relaxed towards the floor. Press the right foot down, lift the left leg up and away, keeping the knee up, bend the knee to lift the foot a little higher, and then reach your left foot across your body towards the right side. It doesn't need to get anywhere in particular, it's just to lift the left hip away from the floor and roll back to center, releasing down. Press the left foot down, reach the right leg away and up, bend at the knee, and then reach the right foot. Lead with the foot, so let the foot draw the hip off the floor and back to center and down. Press down the right leg, lift the left leg up, bend, reach the left across the body behind you to the right and back to center, releasing. Press down with the left leg, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, reach the foot over and back to center. We'll do one more to each side. Press down right, lift left, bend the knee, reach the foot over and back to center. Press down the left leg, lift the right leg, bend the knee, reach the foot over to the left and back to center. Releasing down, toes towards each other, heels apart. Shimmy your hips from side to side if you need to, wiggle, wiggle, and take a couple of deep breaths. Then hands underneath the shoulders, coming up into hands and knees. And we're going to again start with the knees wide, the hands wide, and making big circles with the belly button. So here, if it feels comfortable to do something a little bit more or move in a way that feels good to you, go for it. We'll go the opposite way. So if you've got a better way to release your feelings of effort, go for it. And then coming back to center, bringing the knees together, hands remain wide. We're going to do our rainbow legs with the left leg this time. I'll be doing my right, but that's just because I wanted to show the side nearest to you first. So look forward, lift your left leg up behind you, and then keeping the foot as high as you can, draw that foot all the way up and over towards the left hand, and then back up and over as high away from the floor as you can to touch the toe down behind you on the right side. So lifting up and over, keep your chest lifted, press the mat away from you, lifting up and over, touching down on the left side, lifting up and over, keeping the chest lifted, up and over. I think we just did 4, didn't we? So we'll just do one more. Very good. As high as you can. And then bringing the knees back towards hands and feet. We're going to walk the hands back towards us, tuck the toes under. Leave the right hand down. No, leave the left hand down and twist to the right. I've ended up with the wrong leg in front, but that's fine. We're going to swap the legs so the right leg is in front. Okay, so sitting tall, giving your body a moment to assimilate all of that information. If you need to roll the wrists, you can. You can spend this moment in stillness and just observe. Or if you've got something that needs releasing, release it. Very good. We'll take a deep breath in, sighing out through the mouth. and then we will see where we go next. So extending the right leg out. We're going to do our figure of eights. So right hand down on the right side, sweep the back of the left hand towards the right leg and reaching up and over. Place the left hand down, press into the left hand, into the left leg, lift the hips, reaching the right hand up and over. We'll do just one more of these. So just 2 on each side this time. Reaching up and over. We're going to hold for a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then reaching down. Fold the right leg in, leave the left hand behind you, twist to the left, come into your little squat, reach the hands forward, come up into downward facing dog. One waving vinyasa, either with the knees down or not. Press off the heels, soft knees, rounding through the upper back. Pull the hands back towards the hips to open the chest. And then from here, just folding yourself down onto your belly. Hands come underneath the head. And because I'm adding something on this time, if you prop yourself up on your elbows, you can watch for what's going to happen next. So this time, we're going to press down with the left leg, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, reach the right foot over to the left side of the body, and keep going until we roll onto our backs. And we're going to bend both knees up, elbows down, upper arms down, lifting the hips. We'll give a little bit of a hula hoop with the hips in our bridge pose. Release back down again. We're going to reach as we're doing the right hand first, those for the left hand, and roll the right foot over. So we get into a little sort of twist here, and we might hold the twist for a few moments before we roll over onto our bellies, and do the same thing with the left side, lifting the left leg, bending the left knee, reaching it over. You can lengthen your left arm as you roll onto your back. Come onto the back for a lifting hips in bridge pose, a little circle, and extending the left arm and leg away as we roll back, get halfway, and this is a nice twist, so we can hold the twist for a moment and then come all the way back onto the belly. And we're going to go side to side 3 times, okay? Actually, let's make it 2 times, 2 times. So forehead on the back of the hands, pressing allowing the upper body to come down, pressing the left leg down, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, reach the right foot over to the left side of the body. And as you do, just allow that foot to roll you onto your back. It's a really gentle movement. As you come onto your back, bend both knees in so that they're underneath, supporting the body, bending the elbows, pressing into the upper back and the elbows and the shoulders, lifting the hips, pressing into the heels, and then circling the hips a couple of times in one direction and a couple of times in the other direction. Very good. Coming back to center, lowering the hips down, lifting the left arm and leg, lengthening the left arm and leg, and then rolling the right knee across the body towards lying flat, but just holding for a moment. It doesn't really matter what this looks like. It's just a twist on our way. And then when you're ready, you can follow that twist back onto your belly. We're going to press down with the right foot, lift the left leg up, bend the knee, and reach the left toes over to the right side. Lengthen the right arm if you want to at the same time as you roll gently onto your back. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, press the elbows down, press the heels down to lift the hips. Circle the hips a few times in one direction and a few times in the other direction. And then bringing the hips down, lengthen the right arm and leg and roll the left knee across the body, just holding for a moment in your twisted position before you roll all the way back down onto your belly. Press the left side down, lift the right leg up, bend the knee. Take the right foot over to the left side, lengthening the left arm as you roll onto your back. Bend the feet underneath the body, bend the elbows, press down feet and elbows to lift hips. Circle the hips a couple of times in one direction and a couple of times in the other direction. This time we won't stop for the twist. We're going to bring the hips down, lengthen the left arm and leg, and roll back onto your tummy. Press off with the right foot as you do. Press down the right leg, lift the left leg, bend the knee, reach the left foot over, lengthen the left arm at the same time so you can roll easily onto your back. Bend your knees, place your feet down, your elbows down, press down feet and elbows to lift hips. Circle the hips a couple of times in one direction, a couple of times in the other direction. Then hips down, lengthen the right arm and leg, press off the left foot to roll back onto your belly and rest. Toes towards each other, heels apart. Take a few deep breaths. When you're ready, hands underneath the shoulders to come up to hands and knees, wide arms, and make big circles with the hips. Okay, so just taking the opportunity here to do a little bit more circling in both directions to ease out any feelings of effort in the back of the body. When you're ready, coming back to center, bringing the knees together. And we're going to use our rainbows with our right foot, but I want to show you what will happen afterwards. So just watching for now. So we're going to lift the chest, lift the right leg up behind us, sweep the right leg forward towards the hand, and then sweep it around behind us. And we'll do this a couple of times. And then what we will do is we'll move into a wild thing from here. So we're going to, when the foot is over to the left side, swing the left foot out to the left, roll onto the left hand, and support underneath the body with the left side as we circle the top arm. Once we've done this a few times, we're going to bend, let's see, that right foot at a right angle and press into that foot so we can step the left foot parallel to it and then reach up, and this is a baby rock star. So we've done this, but we've done it from a different angle. We're going to go up and down a couple of times, and then we'll finish by coming into our cross-legged position. Do the whole thing to the other side. Okay, so from our hands and knees, don't worry, I'll talk you through it. It will seem more familiar the more we do it. So right side first, looking forward, knees together, hands apart, lift the right leg up behind you, looking up. Sweep that foot as high off the floor as you can towards your right hand, and then lift up and sweep it over towards the left side of the body. Maybe look a little to the left as well. Sweeping up and over as high as you can, touching down with the toes, not collapsing in the upper body or the shoulders, reaching up and over to the left. One more time, up and over, chest lifted, pressing down with the hands, up and over, touching down on the left side. Here, we're going to leave that foot. We're going to turn that foot to the floor, swing round on our left knee, so we can lift the right leg up, pressing down into the left arm, the left buttock, the left shin, and then make big sweeping circles with the right arm. So once you've got that stability underneath the body, keep the right side moving, the right arm moving. You can go in both directions. Keep breathing. When your arm is over your head again, bend your right knee and place your foot back onto your mat, pointing back to where we were sitting facing at the beginning. Press into that right foot and just, ooh, she says, step your left foot right next to it. And then lift the hips up and then bend the knees, buttocks to the floor, elbow down. Lift the hips up, send the right arm away, and then down. We'll do one more. Lifting hips, send the right arm away, and then this time coming down, cross the left leg in front of the right leg, And sit for a moment of stillness. Allow your body to absorb the effect of that work. Allow the spine to organize itself. Take a couple of breaths, maybe sighing out through your mouth. Very good. So apologies for having a wobble there. It's really quite difficult to do that and talk at the same time. We will extend the left leg and do the whole thing on the left side. And we're moving towards relaxation after this, I promise. So taking the right hand, sweeping the back of the right hand towards the left leg and up. Turning, placing the right hand down, coming up into your baby wild thing, sweeping the left hand over. Sitting the hips back down. We just do one more. Sweeping right hand to left side and up. And then reaching the hips up, opening your chest. As you come down, folding your left leg in, keep your right hand on the floor behind you, turn to the right, come into your squat, walk your hands forward, uncurl yourself into your downward facing dog, maybe just bringing your feet a little closer together. From here, one waving vinyasa, so rolling through the upper body, rolling through the back of the body, sorry, pulling the hands back towards you, opening your chest, and then gently lowering pelvis, chest, forehead to the back of the hands. Here, bringing the thighs close together, pressing down the right foot first, lifting the left leg up, soft bend in the left knee, reach the left foot over to the left side of the body, extend, so over to the right side of the body, extend the right leg, roll onto your back, bend both feet underneath the body, bend both elbows, lift the hips, hula hoop the hips, twice in this direction, twice in the other direction. Bring the hips down, lengthen the right arm and leg. We're going to roll all the way back onto our bellies, nice and gentle. Press the left foot down, lift the right leg up, bend the right knee. Reach the right foot over to the left side, extend the left arm as you roll onto your back. Bend your feet, bend your knees, feet on the floor, elbows on the floor. Press down to lift the back of the body up. Hula hoop your hips twice in this direction, twice in the other direction. Releasing back down, extending left arm and leg, rolling, press off that right foot to roll back onto your belly. One more time each side, press the right foot down, lift the left leg up, bend the left knee, reach the left foot over to the right side, extend the right arm as you go, rolling gently onto your back. Elbows down, feet on the floor, press down into the elbows and feet to lift the hips. Circle the hips twice in one direction, twice in the other direction. Come back to center, releasing down. Extend the right arm and leg. Press off the left foot to roll back onto your belly. Press down with the left foot, lift the right leg up, bend the right knee, reach the right foot over to the left side, extend the left arm as you roll. Bend both knees, feet and elbows and upper arms down, lift the hips up, circle the hips twice, and in the opposite direction twice. Release the hips down, extend the left arm and leg, press off the right foot to roll back onto your belly. Take a moment, toes together, heels apart. Make a shimmer with the hips if you need to. Deep breath in, long breath out. Hands underneath the shoulders, come up to hands and knees, wide arms to begin with. Nice big circles with the hips. Explore the full range of movements, dropping the hips all the way back to the heels if you can, and going in the opposite direction as well. When you're ready, bringing the knees together or towards each other, hands stay far apart. We're doing the left side this time, so look forward, lifting your left leg up behind you, big rainbow motion, lifting the left foot as high as you can to bring it towards the left hand, and then up and over as high as you can to touch the toe lightly down behind you on the right side. Lifting up and over, keeping the chest open, lifting up and over, keeping the arms working, lifting up and over. Just one more time. Lifting up and over. We're going to leave the left foot behind the right side of the body. Swing the right foot out to the right. Press into the right hand, into the right leg. Lift the left arm up and over. So we're in our baby wild thing. And we're going to sweep the hand around. So once the body feels stable, pressing down, we've got that stability. We're going to keep the left side moving. Left arm moving. Let your head follow the movement. And we'll go the opposite way as well. Very good. Now we're going to prepare for baby rock star. I'm just bringing my left hand, right hand even underneath me a little bit more. Bend the left foot so the toes are pointing towards the end of your mat. Press into the left foot and the right hand to lift the right foot parallel to the left. And then reach the left hand over and drop the hips and the elbows down. Reaching up, pressing open, lift underneath the body and down. One more, lifting up, and down. And then from here, sitting at the end of your mat, taking a moment to bring your body to stillness, or perhaps if there's something that you need to work out, releasing something. Observe the effect of your practice. Observe it on your breath rate, your heart rate, the sensations in your body, the patterns of warmth, the patterns of tingling. Notice space, if you've created it with your movements. And then when you're ready, you can roll yourself back down onto your mat. We're going to sort of finish the way we started. So hugging the knees towards you and very gently rolling back down onto the mat. We're going to hold underneath the backs of the knees and begin by just making some gentle swaying movements, or circles if you prefer. Very good. So now we're quietening things down. We want to massage by maybe rolling a bit side to side those areas of the body that need perhaps a touch of release. And we're working with the muscles that we haven't engaged in this way for a while. We want to make sure we can ease them out at the end. We don't want to leave them really tense. So keeping your toes towards each other, take your knees apart, and then make circles where you bring the knees together towards the chest and then apart and away from the body. So hands on the knees all of the time, toes touching or towards each other all of the time. Just a little gentle stirring of the thigh bones in the sockets of the hips. Let's go the opposite way as well. So there isn't a structure of support in the hips that we haven't worked with today. We've lengthened everything that needs lengthening. We've created effort and contraction on everything that needs strengthening. Hug the knees towards you just a little bit deeper. And then here, make tiny circles with the knees together in the same direction. And in the opposite direction too. Then we're going to float the feet to the floor one at a time. And take the knees wide, allow the arms to be wide as well, and just begin with a really gentle sway of the knees from side to side. Cooling down, winding down. If you want to take the knees a little bit further, come more into a spinal twist, then you can. And then the next time your knees come to the center, just lengthening your legs one at a time. 1 and 2. We're going to bring our feet nice and wide apart and then reach your arms as high up as feels comfortable for your shoulders. So it might be that you can reach all the way over your head, but if you find your elbows coming away from the floor, then just take the arms a little wider until you've got everything relaxed on the floor. We're going to lengthen the right hand and the left leg away from each other, and then release. Lengthen the left hand and the right leg away from each other, and release. So opposite sides, arms and legs. I might have muddled my lefts and rights, but you will get it right. Diagonal stretching across the body. Just one more to each side. And then gather yourself up again, drawing the arms down, knees into the chest one at a time. We're going to take the left foot to the floor and cross the right leg over the left thigh. So if you can, crossing over so that your foot is completely free of your thigh, if possible. If not, don't worry about that. But try to keep a position that's comfortable for your knee. Okay. So here, drawing the left foot off the floor so that you end up in the figure 4 stretch, and we're just going to begin with a gentle swaying of this left leg from side to side. The right leg stays in its position and is just gently guided by the left. And you might feel a gentle lengthening across your right hip. Maybe it's not so gentle. When you're ready, you can do circles here. And in the opposite direction as well. So our gluteus maximus and medius are both fan-shaped muscles. So these swaying movements help to work across not just one plane of the muscle, but multiple planes. And then we're going to take the left foot to the floor and very gently allow the left knee to go to the left and the right leg to follow, just to wherever feels good. And here, it might be enough to simply release your arms away from you, but if you'd like a little bit more, you can raise your right arm up and let your right shoulder soften down. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Little firmness in the belly, just to bring the knees back to center. Uncross the legs. We're going to lengthen the right leg away and the right arm away. So the right arm and leg are long. And then we're going to just hop the left foot over the floor so we can take the right leg to the left side. And then we're going to reach the right arm to the left side as well. And trying to feel that sense of length all the way down the right side of the body. Just held for a little bit longer. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Releasing the upper back and arm back to center, uncrossing the legs. Bend the knees into the chest, hug the legs towards you, make any movements with your spine that feel good, a little rocking and rolling perhaps. Then we're going to take the right foot to the floor, cross the left foot over, trying to get the ankle or the lower part of the shin over if you can. So your foot remains free, and then drawing the right knee towards you, and just beginning with a little bit of a sway from side to side. I like to do this by almost making that rainbow pattern again. So it's a hooping sway. like a semicircle. But it's up to you. You can do whatever suits your hips best. And then when you're ready, you can begin to do circling with the right knee. And that might just get different parts of your hips and in the opposite direction as well. When you're ready, you can float the right foot to the floor and keep the left leg where it is and just allow the right knee to come down to the right side, left leg to follow. If you want to, you can reach the left arm over the head or out to the side to increase that sense of openness or space or length. Deep breath in, deep breath out. A little bit of belly firmness to bring the knees back to the center. Uncross the legs, keep the right leg bent, lengthen the left leg and left arm. Just hop the right foot off the floor as you let the left leg come over to the right side, and then reach the left arm over to the right as well. And here, just experiencing that slightly longer stretch. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bringing your head and chest, upper body back to center, uncrossing the legs. Final time, knees into the chest. Again, underneath the backs of the knees and just making any movements that feel good now. And then preparing for relaxation. So if you've got something to put underneath the backs of the legs for relaxation, then you can. And if you've got a blanket, then that would be good too. I'm just going to put on my sleeves today. I think it's a little bit cool in these winter days of practice. And then, of course, if you have anything else that you'd like to do to release or to bring yourself into comfort, or any other props you'd like to use, then of course taking your time to do that. And we will meet up. Ooh, she says that was a bad plan, wasn't it? Look at that. You can probably see the untidiness of the rest of the room there. Coming into Shavasana. So taking anything you need to make yourself comfortable and warm. It's really, whilst we do warm up quite a lot in our practice, it's really important to be warm in relaxation because the cold makes us not feel relaxed. So keeping yourself nice and toasty and cozy. Relaxing the arms away from the body. If you want to, you can fold one arm over the other across the chest and just take a moment to ease out that space behind the shoulder blades. You can do it in both directions, a few deep breaths, only if you want to, if that's a place where you find you hold tension. When you're ready, relaxing the arms down and gently rolling your head, just waving your nose from side to side, keeping the back of the head supported on the floor. Settling with your feet wide apart. Toes turned outwards if that's comfortable for you. And then bringing your body to stillness. Take a long deep breath in, and as you sigh, exhale through the mouth. Repeat 3 more times. A long deep breath in. Let all of your effort go. A deep breath in. Let your muscles begin to really relax. Last breath in and surrender down into your mat.
Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm, falling away into silence. Feel your forehead beginning to soften and spread. The area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, and jaw releasing. Become aware of the back of the body. We've really worked with the back of the body this practice, so feel it softening, surrendering down. Perhaps you're even aware of those muscles beginning to hold a little less tension. Release and relax. Allow the whole of the back of the body to feel heavy, warm, supported, releasing down. Move your awareness to the front of your body. Become aware of the subtle touch of air on your face. The movement of your clothes on your skin as you breathe. The sensation of holding space in the palms of the hands. Move your awareness to your breath and take just one more deep, purposeful breath. One long, languid, full exhalation. And then allow your breath to find its natural rhythm. Deep and soft and slow. Your body and mind relaxing a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. And bring your awareness back into your hands and your feet, maybe just wiggling your fingers and toes a little. When you're ready, you can begin to circle the ankles at the feet, circle the hands at the wrists. Ankles at the feet, feet at the ankles. There we are. And then in your own time, taking a deep breath and stretching through the body, maybe lifting the hips up, that pandiculation, that ripple effect of stretching parts of the body one at a time, rippling, rippling, rippling. So it's a one continuous sort of languid movement. Languid is the word of the day. And then bring your knees into your chest just whenever you're ready and hug them towards you. Make any movements that feel good, any rocking and rolling. Maybe it's just a simple hold here and turning the head from side to side. Whatever works for you. In your own time, you can find your way onto your side. Take a moment, just a deep breath in and a deep breath out on your side. And then using the hands to press up into any comfortable seated position. Let's bring our hands to our hearts. So placing one hand over the center of your chest, the other hand on top. The eyes are closed or gazing gently down. And take a moment to thank yourself for giving this time, this energy, this effort, focus, awareness to your yoga practice. And maybe today just finding something else that you feel incredibly grateful for. And it might be the smallest thing. Like, for example, I know there's one single Ferrero Rocher left in the box in the kitchen, and I'm really looking forward to having it later. Whenever you're ready, just blinking your eyes open. Namaste, guys. Thank you for joining me for this practice, dedicated to all things hips. I hope you find it useful, and I hope to see you again. Namaste.